So arresting this ISIS-K leader was a huge priority for President Trump. It was one of his first orders to the CIA: find him and arrest him. How did it all happen?
Yes, so there were two equally important priorities for the president. Your last segment concerns the other one. When I arrived at 12:01 on January the 20th, I wrote on the whiteboard in my skiff in my secure compartmented information facility at the top of the list of the priorities for President Trump and for the National Security Advisor Mike Waltz are U.S. hostages. And at the time, I used the letter J for Jafar, which is the now declassified nom de guerre of this man, the individual who arrived at 3 a.m. on the tarmac at Dulles Airport, Sharifullah, Mohammed Sharifullah. Why? Because this is the real mastermind. This is the monster behind the Abbey Gate massacre of 3.5 years ago that took the lives of 13 of our brave warfighters. And this is an ex-ops leader, external operations leader for ISIS-K, responsible for multiple mass murder events in multiple countries. How did it happen? President Trump, Mike Waltz, my counterterrorism team at the NSC, moved heaven and earth to direct the U.S. intelligence community, the counterterrorism enterprise that is the United States, to locate this individual. And we had a certain piece of intelligence intercept material that we provided to one of our partners, to the government of Pakistan. They deployed their host nation counterterrorism assets, located this individual and arrested him. And last weekend, our FBI flight team flew out to Pakistan, interviewed the suspect, and he confessed to Abbey Gate.
Now, listen, I know the CIA had been following him for a bit and had passed that intel on to Pakistani authorities. Relations between the CIA and Pakistan have been strained for some time now, for several years. How did you manage to win their cooperation on this arrest?
I think it all goes down to who the commander-in-chief is. In the age of Trump, relations change across the world because they realize American leadership is back. We believe in sovereignty. We believe in the values that made America great. And if you want to bring death or justice to the global jihadi organizations like ISIS or Al-Qaeda, we will be your partners. So it was John Ratcliffe, the new director of Central Intelligence. It was Tulsi Gabbard, the National Director for Intelligence. It was Mike Waltz. I was on the call with NSA Waltz, with the Pakistani foreign minister prior to the president's speech yesterday, where we privately thanked the Pakistani government who really want to collaborate with us now. They have their own jihadi threats in their country. We have incredible, exquisite intelligence capacities, especially at the NSA. So this presages a new level of counter-terrorism cooperation with countries like Pakistan, because we want to together defeat the scourge that is global jihadism.
This suspect, as you said, has confessed to planning this attack, carefully scouting the route that it would follow. He had more attacks planned. He was also behind the attack, the ISIS-K attack in Moscow. Trump says that he will face the, quote, sword of justice in this country, but justice here can be slow. The planners of the 9/11 attacks still haven't had their criminal case resolved.
Yeah, I think this is a different kind of case. This isn't going to be something that's mired in the Bush years of back and forth with Guantanamo Bay. This is already occurring in the legal system, the federal courts, the jurisdictions of Northern Virginia. And the fact is, look, I was on the phone call with President Trump when he called members of the families of the 13 murdered in Abbey Gate. Justice has to be done. Justice must be seen to be done for the mothers, the fathers, the sisters and brothers. It was one of the most heart-wrenching things I've ever heard, that discussion between President Trump, who was told by the family members that only Mike Waltz and President Trump stood by the families for the last 3.5 years. The last administration did not want to bring this man to justice. And President Trump, as with so many other things, kept his promise to these families. And that is why that man landed at Dulles Airport at 3 a.m. And that's why he will stand in the dock and he will face a jury of his peers and a court here in the United States to answer for the murder of innocent Americans.
Very quickly, did you say anything to him when you saw him on the tarmac?
I thought about it. I thought about it. I brought members of the NSA team that had hunted him down, including one of the Farsi linguists, onto the plane so they could look into the eyes of this monster. And one of them said, "Do you mind if I say something to him in Farsi?" And I said, "I don't know if you should, but I'm not going to stop you from saying something to that man." She thought better of it, but when he saw her eyes, when he saw my team, he knew that the freedom he had enjoyed for far too long was over, and he will die in prison.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.